Today we're going to be covering the PX200 electrostatic handheld sprayer. We're going over potential clogs or pump issues that you might run into. And unfortunately they can sometimes kind of merge together. So we're going to walk through step by step and figure out ways to troubleshoot that. So one of the first things we want to do when you're looking at your sprayer, if you're like, hey, I'm pulling on the trigger and I'm getting nothing's coming out. One of the first things to look at is, do you hear a pump sound? If you do hear a pump sound, we can move on to the next step. But if you don't hear a pump sound and you see the light coming on, most likely you have power, but simply just something's going on with the pump. And that's one of the best ways to identify a pump issue. So you have a clog or something's going on here. One of the first steps we're going to do, we're going to take our tank ring right here, and we're going to hold a wheel lock. We're going to unlock our wheel lock, and then we're going to pull on the tank ring. We're going to pull the sprayer out. We're going to try to see if we can identify where exactly this clog might be occurring. So you got your hose. We're going to actually see if there's a clog inside this area here. Very important when you're taking the hose on or off, never to go back and forth. You want to kind of take the hose and kind of just twist it down in a downward motion. Now, if the clog is right here, what's going to immediately happen? You have a bunch of water just come right out. So odds are you've actually just fixed the clog. So simply put the hose back on and actually test it out and see if that works. If it doesn't, then you're going to leave the hose off. And next thing we're going to do is we want to see if we can eliminate the actual nozzle as the actual issue. So we're going to take our nozzle wrench right here, this funny looking little device. We're going to take our handheld. We're going to insert this like this. And if you do run into some issues taking this on or off, we have some other videos on that, but don't be surprised. It could be a little tricky. So we're going to take it and always to the left, 90 degrees. And then we're going to pull this out. I want you to take a look at the nozzle and see if you notice any sort of grime or buildup on here. And then whenever looking down the barrel, I always want to make sure to put the safety on and take your finger off the trigger and then kind of look here. And again, you want to see, is the green grommet that's inside here, does it look good? Is there any kind of grime, in there? And that might indicate there's some sort of clog buildup, in that area. So now what we're going to do, with your hose off, we're going to actually test out the sprayer with the nozzle off, which if it's working real good, if the nozzle was the problem, we're going to get a nice gush of water coming out here. And that actually is going to look like a little mini garden hose. And that's essentially what we're trying to achieve with the nozzle off. What you can be doing with the nozzle in the meantime is actually put it in some warm water with some soap and just let it soak, because if that's the problem, that could be a way to actually fix that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this, we're going to put this back on, get it nice and secure, and then we're going to flip this upside down like this, and then you're going to want to watch really just for how much water is going to come out here, and that would tell you, see that right there? If you see water coming out like that, you know that we're in good shape. If not, you hear the motor running, just keep holding it, sometimes for 2 to 5 minutes. This downward pressure actually really helps alleviate and kind of break up some of the blockage. If the pump's having an issue, this could actually help kind of restart the pump. So if this alleviates the issue, then you're all set. Now, if that doesn't alleviate the issue, then we highly recommend that you use a water syringe. So we're going to go ahead and take the tank off again. Take our little water syringe, get it nice and filled, and you might need to actually do this a few times, but it's going to be a similar concept to what we did with the water tank method. We're going to take this and we're going to insert this in here, get a nice good seal. Same thing, we're going to kind of push down while holding the trigger. Might get a little water, but the water should come right out. And as long as you can hold it for a little while after, just kind of help clear things. But you can see the water came out really good. So once you establish that everything looks clear, you can go ahead and take your hose. We can put it back on. And then I do recommend, before you put the nozzle back on, let's just give it one more test in the upright position to see if we've got the blockage. So again, tank ring. Okay, now we're good. We're going to hold it. Getting lots of water coming out, so that's good. Good flow right there. And then last step is, if you take your nozzle, get your nozzle wrench. We're going to put this back in here. Again, you might need to do this 180 degrees, but always to the left to get it back on. You want to make sure nice and flush. We're going to take this, That actually went real fast. Got a nice beautiful mist that we have going on there. But if you're put the nozzle back on and you happen to notice that, okay, it's not spraying, then clearly that definitely is going to be the nozzle. But now you've kind of gone through, you've identified the different, parts, made sure that they're working correctly. And well, that concludes our video. We really appreciate you watching these instructional videos and being able to use and get yourself back up and running with our advanced technology and our safer solutions. If you need any more additional support, feel free to go to our website, EvaClean.com, and we actually have our warranty page on there, and you can fill out your warranty claim. So have a safe day.